Say hello to the world's newest bike company, DETRAIL from our home country Sweden. These bikes are all carbon trail bikes designed for Nordic conditions, which often is slow, technical and involves a lot of pedaling. There are 3 bikes available from the start, and in typical IKEA fashion they are named Stig, which means trail in Swedish. I've got 2 of them right here. The first one is the Stig 115. It's a down-country bike. And that one is Stig 135. That's a trail bike. Just to give you a point of reference, the Stig 115 is very similar to the Trek Top Fuel, just with a little bit higher stack height and a more generous reach. And the Stig 135 is very similar to a Stunt Bumper or the new Canyon Neuron, but with a bit more aggressive angles. Maybe it's closer to the Canyon Spectre 125 even. So why on earth would you want to buy a bike from an unknown brand when there are so many other, more established brands out there? Let's find out.
I must admit I was a bit skeptical when I was first contacted by DETRAIL. Was this just another import, someone who tries to make some easy money? But I was instantly proved wrong. These bikes have been in the making for over 3 years, and the last 2 years this man Alistair Beckett, the man behind Nuke-Proof's mountain bikes, has been involved to work out the suspension kinematics. Endless computer simulations and close contact with the RockShox and Öhlins resulted in a horse-link design, paired with a specific tune to the shock to provide optimal support all through the travel. A trendy flex stay was also evaluated, but the few grams of weight savings just isn't worth it over better performance according to DETRAIL. I have 2 brand new bikes at my disposal for the day, and my brother joins in for a quick test. I start on a Stig 115, a down-country bike that's equipped with a pair of grippy Maxxis tires. It's still ice and snow out in the woods here, and this bike can be opted with different tires depending on your preference. DETRAIL is a direct-to-consumer brand where you as a customer can configure your bike with different sizes, colors and components individually, which is kind of unique and a welcome touch to get your Stig just the way you want. From the start, the bikes are sold in the EU, and shortly the UK and Norway can enjoy a Stig. There are no plans so far for export overseas, but as DETRAIL puts it, if there's a will, there's a way. If you thought DETRAIL is a budget brand, you're wrong. The spec levels are high, since DETRAIL believes that a great bike experience is the sum of a good bike design and functional components. For instance, the lowest level Stig 115 has got a full SRAM GX drivetrain and 4-pot brakes. There are no shortcuts to be found here. My bike is also equipped with the RockShox SID Ultimate fork with a remote lockout both front and rear. Not that I felt the need to use it though. The sticky tires provide confidence and enough grip to conquer what's left of the winter, but at the cost of higher rolling resistance. I think this bike should work better with the fast rolling option. The size is large extra large, which is spot on for my 185 centimeters. It's the correct size for my brother's 182 centimeters too. I sit comfortably on the WTB saddle, and together with the other high-end components, this is a very crisp and direct experience. The first thing we notice when we get the bikes out of the shop is how very lightweight they feel, even with the heavier tire option. I got the weight after our test day, and I wasn't surprised to find that both bikes indeed are very light. At the first glance, the Stig 135 looks very similar to the Stig 115. But this is a rather aggressive trail bike with a slack 65-degree head angle and a steep 78-degree C-tube angle. It's 140mm of travel up front, but it can be equipped with a 150mm fork, which further slackens out the bike. Despite its capabilities, this bike pedals very well, with only a slight hint of pedal bob that quickly blends out with the terrain. DETRAIL's in-house design chainstay protection and internal cable routing makes the Stig 135 a quiet bike. My expectations for this day were set rather low, but I got slapped in the face with this new brand. Both my brother and I have a hard time finding anything to complain about, apart from that the Stig 135 in size medium-large was too small for us. I have two major takeaways from this day. First thing is the lightweight and snappy feeling, and with the fine-tuned handling, it's an easy and intuitive bike to ride. Bunny jumps are super easy for some weird reason. The second thing is the rear end of both bikes, which feels magical. Some shorter travel bikes can be a bit harsh in the rear end, but those computer simulations seem to have paid off. Both bikes are plush and use every millimeter of that small amount of travel that they've got to the fullest. It might be difficult for a brand new bike company from a small cold country up north to take a piece of the premium bike market, especially now when the bike boom is over. At the same time, a similar spec trail bike with the same performance from a major American brand is twice the money. I was wrong with my initial assumptions, but I've changed my mind. DETRAIL deserves a spot on the mountain bike scene.